Welcome into the Instant Reraise podcast. I am your host, Pipster. With me, as always, 8 BCNM, AndyHara.
What's
How are you boys
up?
doing tonight?
Pretty good about you?
Doing good.
Can't complain.
All right, very nice.
It's Friday.
Nobody listens.
It is Friday.
It is Friday. Hooray for the weekend.
Oh, 3-day weekend that is.
For you.
Oh, you got a
Yeah, at
3-day
least.
weekend?
Yeah.
3-day weekend.
I get to work from home Monday.
I get Mondays off.
I get to work at work on Monday.
I have Monday off, but it's only because I have to work tomorrow. So
Nice. Okay, well, you know, some
and
of us are winners, some of us are losers. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. It's fine. All right. So we'll start off this week. This is our 6th episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode
6.
Okay. Episode 6. Before we get into it, I forget this like every single time. The socials. Go find us at YouTube. Just search Instant Reraise. I don't believe it's podcast. I think it's just Instant Reraise.
It is.
Or is it? It is podcast?
No, it is. It's just at Instant Reraise.
At Instant Reraise. Beastaru handles that. So go watch his wizardry on the videos. He does a really great job. We have 8 working on the website right now. It's just, is it instantreraise.com?
Yes, it is. It's like
All right.
50% done.
It's in development. It looks beautiful though. It really does. And then we have Andy, who
I'm just here for comedic value. So
there we go. There we go.
I'll say it. I don't care. Beat you
Just
to
here-
the punch.
You're just here to get wasted.
Yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Maybe. Maybe.
It's going to be interesting.
All right, guys. We'll start it off by kind of getting into our progression like we always do. Anybody want to start it off, or you want me to just call someone out?
So go ahead, 8.
Go ahead, 8.
I think every single episode, it's mostly me.
Yeah.
It's alphabetical, but not.
All
It's
right.
reverse
I
alphabetical.
just got to think where we're at last 2 weeks.
We're in the jungle. And then
In the jungle, baby.
we went to the nest last night.
You gonna die.
Oh, right. So Bard level 45. Currently.
Mhm.
No, 47. No, 45.
6.
46. You gotta be
46.
Yeah, I think
46.
46. I think you're in the
Yeah, I
middle.
think 46.
Because
46.
we're-
Yesterday was a rough XP party.
Oh, yeah, it was.
We salvaged it. Well,
Yep.
It was beneficial overall. Yeah, so Bard finally getting there. Ninja still level 10. Haven't bothered leveling it. I should go do that one of these days. We've been playing mostly as support Bard, so always / white mage. Other than that, progression wise, like I haven't really done much. Oh wait, no, I did.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. What are you talking about?
I started working on my alt, leveling smithing. I think that's a level 40 right now. Might take a break from it. It's freaking expensive. Compared to cooking, it's like way more expensive. Cooking's at 95 still. Struggling to make money off of it. It's possible. It's just too much of a hassle. But yeah, other than that, that's basically it. I've been gathering, farming mostly.
Yeah. All right. Andy, what you got going on?
Up to level 47 paladin. Not really focusing on anything else. Just focusing on my main.
Mhm.
Haven't really touched my alts at all, which I probably should, but I'll get around to it eventually.
All right.
That's about it, other than farming with you guys here and there.
Gotcha. All right, Beast, what you got going on?
I've got a red mage 48. Finally got haste last night. Like you guys, or like 8 said, it was a rough one last night. It was fun. We got our X-ray molds. Still got to get the bomb coal or whatever it is. But
And
yeah.
ancient papyrus.
I got to get my white mage up one more level. I did get it to 24. I got to get it to at least 25.
Oh, nice.
And then black mage still sitting at 31. Been farming with you guys, which I highly recommend anybody out there. If you don't have a farming buddy, I feel like that makes it so much easier, so much better.
Yeah.
Pipster? How you looking?
48 warrior?
Well, what about your other jobs? They're like
Well,
fucking 8 or 10.
Thief at 32, gonna get that to 37 for Warrior. I'm looking forward to 60 with triple attack and trick attack to help Andy with the hate management a little bit. And it's no fault of yours though. We're going like freaking
Dude,
murder hobos right now.
you guys
so.
are fucking ping ponging like fucking
Murder
back and
hobos.
forth. God damn.
Last night wasn't a great example. I mean, it was a tough spot last night.
I was so fucking stressed out last night.
But no, yeah. So Warrior there, Alchemy. I told this to you guys. Once I hit 100K again, I will reinvest that back into Alchemy. This will be the stage where I push it far enough where I can start synthing or HQing enough to start producing stuff for the group. Because right now it's just not financially feasible. It really isn't, because I can't HQ anything, and if I don't HQ it, it's literally just burning gil, and it's not good. So Echo Drops, Silent Pots, Prism Powders will be coming shortly. I just have to burn up to like 65, I think, for the whole kit and caboodle. So coming soon on that. We did get our airship passes.
Mhm. Rank
So
5.
we went. Yep. So that was a huge moment of progression. Rank 5. Yep. So we can travel. That makes it a lot easier for me because Bastock, even with the outpost warps, it is too much of a time commitment to run there
Yeah.
just for alchemy.
They got the
skillets and
short
stuff,
end of the
so.
stick with their outpost location.
They did. They very much did. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with the. Let's see. So that's rank. That's my job. Craft. I don't think I've been working on Paladin here and there. So I got Paladin, Summoner, White Mage, Alta 13. I'm trying to get up to a part where I don't have to go to the Kronstadt side of the dunes. I'm trying not to do the Lizzie camp. So I think like 15. Is that kind of like that marker?
It's
So
about that. Yeah, actually, probably 14. Yeah, 14.
14. Yeah. So I'm trying to make it there before I head over to the dunes or dune adjacent parties, just so 'cause I just don't want to deal with that slow little grind there. Rather have the DDs have like at least like berserk or something like that so that they can start ripping apart the mobs. Other than that, I don't think there's no other progression, right? We haven't done anything else with the eggs remolds. I don't think there's been much else going on, just like logging still. Actually,
EXP.
logging adjacent, one of the things that we did want to talk tonight is another gathering skill that I think 8 happened upon or started doing. You want to talk a little bit about Chocobo Digging?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Chocobo Digging. It's like another craft, but it's actually there's potential there once you get it to like a high enough level. So essentially what it is, you buy Gilbash greens from like an NPC for like, I believe like 65 gil or something like that each.
61.
61 gil. So it does take a lot of stacks to go out and do it. But there's a lot of things in there, like for example, like we log quite frequently in the jungles, like ebony logs, rosewood, mahogany. Like there's all kinds of different logs, and there's also like mushrooms, like the king truffle, and like a lot of like good quality mushrooms out there. You have to be logging or harvesting to get either or, but with chocobo digging, you can get both. Just running around digging. The jungle is a little bit more high level. There is like a limit per day. You can only get 100 items. And like when you start, it's really, really, really rough. I've been chocobo digging for about a week. I hit level 10 earlier today. So it went from a 16-second delay between digs to 11-second delay between digs. So it is going to speed up a little bit, but at the same time, you're going to skill up less because now like the curve goes up every single time you skill up or rank up. Essentially every 10 levels, you get less and less skill ups. It's very similar to like crafting, but crafting is not as bad. So it is a pretty big time commitment. But like I said, once you get to 0 delay, if you can go out there during like a good time where like not many people are digging, like you can go out, get your 100 items, maybe get a stack or 2 of like ebony or rosewood or something like that, and then like in 45 minutes or less, and you're done for the day basically. So that's like a decent way to make gil. And if they ever introduce chocobo raising, like the rewards continue to go up and up. So it is a long-term investment if you do want to do it. Because eventually you can even dig up like elemental ores, which sell for like
Dang.
300 or 400K, but that's not. It's gonna
That's
take
way
a year.
up there.
That's like a year, I think. They average out. So it's not anytime soon. But if you get them, you're one of the first ones. The server's still pretty young. So like anything you do now, if the server's still around in a couple of years, which I don't want to see it not being up.
Yeah, I don't
looking
see
at
that either.
looking at the other private servers, Horizon has a very good like staff and a very good like policies around. So haven't really seen any drama really, outside like just people being trolls. But
Yeah, trolls are
That
going to
drama
be
usually
trolls.
stays in Discord though. I haven't seen too much server drama.
I stay out of. I stay right out of the Discord. I don't
Discord's
want
Like
not
any
most
helpful.
part
do.
of that.
Yeah.
yeah, I really haven't seen too much. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing, and it's I don't know, like I said, I think it's worth it. It is a big time commitment. It takes you like a couple of hours probably to like get hit fatigue per day,
Mhm.
but you don't have to like grind it out either. If you
Right.
take a stack, or take like maybe 10 stacks of like greens and just go burn them, and you get what you get, chances are you will make your guild back.
Yeah.
Come on, like we're not the type of people to grind shit out.
Yeah,
Well,
this is so games to grind.
this is a
We,
different kind of grind though. I mean, this
yeah,
is I tried it earlier today. Kudos to you for getting the rank 10. Holy moly, dude. I got 9 stacks total, which was a little under 7k, I think, right? I think it's a little under 7k. Holy crap, dude. I did make my money back just like you said. It took 6 chestnut logs to do it, but oh,
Where were you?
I went West Ron. He was nice enough to share a chart from I think FFXI fandom or something like that, like a wiki, and it shows you like the best ones to skill up on because it's like less populated with diggers because the rewards aren't as good, and then it has better item stuff because different areas have better items that you can chocobo dig up. But it took all 9 stacks to get 6 chestnut logs. And that's 16 seconds per dig for it's almost 100 digs right there, right?
Dang.
I didn't get 100 items.
I'll go
but
log elms all day long.
yeah, it's much more beneficial because you can control the nodes, right? When you're farming logs,
Mhm.
you might not always get a log or get the right log, but at least it's moving, right?
Yep.
You can kind of see the progress. But I probably might slowly do chocobo dig. I don't know. It's just it feels like it's so much work.
I'm
It
still
is.
really considering not doing a craft and just focusing on logging
Gathering,
and
yeah.
harvesting and chocobo digging and doing that instead.
The downfall of that is eventually the server's going to get heavier on the crafting side, and people are going to be able to HQ a lot more stuff, which means they'll need less material.
Yeah.
So your market might dry up a little bit, but I mean we're probably months off of that,
Yeah.
honestly.
And honestly, like we haven't even like touched like another very easy way to make guild of just camping NMs
Or
Yeah.
BCNM.
or
Yeah,
BCNMs.
we haven't
Because
even started that yet.
yeah, so like camping NMs, like honestly, like if we go as a group, right, the claim shield counts as like everybody basically puts a number in, and then one person gets it. So if there are a bunch of people doing one, and we're rolled up in a group of 5 or 6, like we get 6 opportunities versus everybody else's one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep. That's very
But
true.
you're not guaranteed a drop. But still.
That's also true.
not guaranteed to drop, but like I mean just guild return kind of thing. Like if we like, what's a peacock charm going for these days?
I don't even know. I'd assume over a mil.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's a
No.
mill plus.
Yeah, so
I
I mean,
honestly don't know. I don't think one sold an AH yet, has it? I've seen one up there.
I've seen
Has
people
it sold?
trying to sell them in Shout, but
I see them in chat every once in a
A
while.
lot
but,
of
like,
shout trading, yeah.
yeah.
it's high risk, high reward kind of thing, right? So like we get one of those, like it equates to like,
Way more
6
than we can
farm
get.
Way
sessions.
more
Yeah.
than yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very true. And we're gonna have to get into that. Maybe we'll do it after promies or something. I mean, promies, I think, are our next thing on the docket to kind of get through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Once we hit
Yep.
60 or 50.
Hit 50. We got one piece of the limit break. We need the two others, the bomb ash or whatever it's called, and the papyrus, the ancient papyrus from the liches. So that will be the next thing on the docket. I have seen those the things that you get from the promies, the empty thoughts, I think they're
Mhm.
called, sell for a whole bunch. Does that make negative gear, -1 gear or something like that? Is that used for crafting? I don't know what that's used for. And it's okay if nobody knows. I mean, we haven't done it. We haven't really looked into it yet.
It's
But
been so long, I don't remember. I just remember you need certain ones for certain parts of COP.
Gotcha.
I'm in uncharted territory right now, so I
Well-
don't remember anything from this era.
It's funny you say that because our buddy Alu, who's in our group, actually said this is the furthest that he's gotten in the game, period. He never went back to retail after he left, and I think he said like 07 or 04 or
Yep.
something like
Yeah.
that, way early on.
He's got
I think
pip syndrome, where he can't decide on a main job, but I think he's pretty much picked one.
yeah,
He's good too. He's been fun to play with.
Yes, he has.
But originally in retail, the highest I got was level 53. So
And it was on
that
Dark
was
Knight, right?
yeah, it was on Dark Knight, and that was like back in the day. Man, you were like fucking blacklisted. You couldn't get a party as a
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're going at a good pace. We're going at our pace. You know, we could obviously go no
Way
life it
faster.
and get way ahead, stop farming and just like junk gear it through it. But I think the way we're doing it is nice. We're getting money, we're leveling. We spend the money, we get more money, we go back to leveling. Yada yada, rinse and repeat. Now we're at a point where we're well past 30, which I think is the promise. So we can start kind of chipping away at that. Zillart starts at what, rank 6?
Mhm.
So yeah, so we have one more rank before we can start that one too. I don't think Zillart's not that long, is it? It's like 12 missions.
It's not terrible. No, it's not that long.
One of the shorter ones, and then Promies or Chains of Promethea, not Promies, but Chains of COP is pretty long if I remember.
it
correctly.
is.
'Cause it takes you through
Yeah.
all the
I like
new
Zillard
areas.
because it's a lot of fighting in that, and that's like a lot of NM fighting rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Correct me here, it's Dawn something, but is it the connection between Zillart and COP? Like you get to the end of both to get the earrings? Is that how that works, or is that just COP reward? It's both of them?
Nope, it's both. Yeah, you get
Like
the
Dawn something.
you get a pretty
the mission.
decent. I think the dual wield earring from Zillard.
Yeah, I
That
think they changed it.
that.
Oh,
But yeah,
did they?
you get an earring from that, and I think you get Raja's.
Oh, you don't have a
That's right.
choice.
Raj is a COP,
the
right?
Raja ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ring is COP. I
That's
think
right.
shortly after you get done with the promies.
Right,
It's
and
a
then
dec-
Dawn
it's a decent
Awakening or
ring,
something
too.
like that. Oh yeah, people still use Raj's ring in retail. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
replacements, but it was still a
Very
option.
good because it's scaled with you.
Yeah. Okay, so that was where were we? Okay, yeah. So as we're leveling through and everything like that, we're kind of not really learning things that are new or anything. I'm sure many people know this, but just to give people an idea what we've been partying with, right? We've been going tank, DD,
Paladin.
yeah, Paladin tank, then a Warrior DD, then a Dark DD or Dragoon. He's been mainly Dark lately, though, Alu. Bard. And then for our healing and support, it's been Beastaru on Red Mage, sub White Mage, main healing for us. I kind of wanted to go over that we kind of wanted to go over that and how our experience has been with that. I'll let Beast speak to it first, then we can kind of chime in on what we think should be that 6th spot. We can all chime in on that part. But Beast, for you, how has it been main healing on Red Mage and
It's
a
been
level
fine.
40 to 50 parties?
I think what my benefit, I guess, would be, if there is a benefit, is that I didn't play Red Mage in retail as a main. It was my sub for Black Mage. Once I got it to 37, I never played it again. Later on at 99, I got it to 99, but it wasn't like a focus of mine. So I don't have anything to compare it to. So I see a lot of people upset about the changes, any of the changes that have been made to Red Mage, and they're saying, bring it to its former glory, nix the changes that were made. But for me, since I don't have anything to compare it to, it's been fine. I mean, if convert recast was back at 10 minutes, it would make a huge difference in certain applications or situations, but it's been very rare that I've needed it, like absolutely needed it, and it wasn't up. So I'm not really following what everybody else is talking about. I'm sure there's a lot of validity to what they're saying. Again, I didn't experience it back then, so I have nothing to compare it to. It seems fine to me. I've enjoyed it more so than I thought that I ever would. I almost feel like any of the changes that they made has made it more appealing to me, because I don't like jobs that are super easy. I like jobs that have a little bit to them that's not, you can't just walk through everything.
Yeah.
So that, for me, it's been great. I love it. And especially with 8 helping remove debuffs, it allows me to focus on healing. So without 8, and really without even Andy helping with cures and things like that, which helps him with hate and that, I think our group, it works perfect in our group. I can't attest to anything outside of that.
Yeah, no, I would say you've been doing a freaking terrific job. I think we've, and it wasn't even, I think it's actually when we had the white mage in the party. We only had like 1 or 2 deaths the entire time we've been leveling together.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's died since I've
I don't
been
think so.
main healing, but
it's been a while since anybody's died while we were partying.
it
And
is
the polls have never slowed. I've not slowed down polling at all.
And that's what I've been saying in the Discord channel. Like, everybody's complaining about it. I'm like, look, I've been main healing, keeping up a refresh rotation. I'm not saying that I'm the best at it or anything. Now I'm going to be keeping up with haste rotation as well. So I'm going to have to figure that out. So I don't have a problem with it. Again, it also kind of keeps me active. So I'm always having to focus, which makes me enjoy the game even more rather than just sitting back and just hitting a macro every minute. So I have enjoyed it. Anybody who wants a fast-paced job where they have to pay attention, they'll love it.
Yeah, I played white mage at level 13 for like 1 party, and I think I put in Discord to you, Beast. I'm like, you never stop. Like,
No, you don't.
Can never stop. There's no breaks.
Nope.
Yeah, DDs will just keep pulling over you. It doesn't matter. It's like you just got to get what you can get.
Sometimes you get, sometimes you get lucky and you can just stay resting because, like, especially on Andy with Paladin, he's not taking enough damage that you have to get up and cure him or whatever. He's able to cure himself, so you're able to keep the MP, and I think that's what keeps us able to have little to no downtime on top of 8 helping with the debuffs and things like that.
I'm still feeling the job out. I'm kind of in uncharted territory for myself because, I mean, yes, in retail I did play Paladin for a little bit, but I didn't go anywhere near past level 30. So for me right now, I'm still kind of feeling out how the mechanics work, and I'm no good king for a lay. I'm gonna throw it out there. There's your call out for.
Fur is a really, really good paladin. It's hard. I couldn't do as good as he does.
He plays the job really well, and I'm trying my best to kind of get it down.
You've been doing really good.
But I'm definitely not as good as Fur when it comes to tanking.
Well, okay, so. Thank you, Beast, for giving that view on that, and it's certainly something people should look into if they've been kind of skittish and only thought that a white mage can heal. There are options if it's just going to set up the party right. So let's go around. What's on everyone's wish list for that 6th spot? Beast, we'll start with you. What's on your wish list for maybe that 6th spot, that either healing, support, or DD, or what would you like to see in our group?
I actually have one of 2, I would say 2 things. 3 things, I guess. Either a black mage would be awesome for bursts. I feel like that would really decrease our time as far as mobs. speed up kills, or a summoner. Summoners seem to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially a good summoner, make a difference, help me with backup heals. I wouldn't be opposed to a white mage, because then I could focus more on dispel, haste, refresh, debuffs, things like that. But I think all in all, my ultimate would be between black mage or summoner.
Okay. Nice. Andy, you got any input on that? Anything you'd like to see? Make your job easier at all? Anything?
Oh, I'd probably say probably another healer.
Okay.
You know, take the pressure off a beast. I mean, if not that, maybe a really well geared, aggressive DD that does some decent damage.
Yep.
Like a monk or
Monk
something a little bit more
would
powerful.
probably, yeah, monk would probably wouldn't be bad because
Well, they can take a
just,
hit if they pull hate.
well that's the thing,
It's true.
So I think that will be okay too.
All right. 8, what you got? Anything on the wish list for you? Make your job a little easier? Anything?
I think like maybe a samurai. So we can set up like 2 skill chains.
Yeah. See that.
Because samurai should be getting TP a ton faster than like you or Lu, and you can set up 2 or a 3-step if we having a static changes things because you can coordinate so much better. So we can coordinate that, and like the pools will be so much quicker, less healing because the mobs just die.
Yep.
Um,
That's the shit end of the stick to pick it up a rando.
It also makes it when we're able to communicate with each other just through talking. I feel like that makes it way easier.
Talking through Discord makes it so much easier.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and not to say like if you know your job well, like you're probably fine. It's just those that just weapon skill whenever they sneak attack, trick attack, random places.
AFK just randomly without saying
Yeah.
anything.
Randomly. Yeah.
You've got to admit, being able to talk over voice chat versus having to try to type in text while you're trying to do your job.
It's hard.
Oh yeah, it makes it's so much easier to just talk.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to type it out. Yeah. So for me,
but,
go ahead, Z. Go ahead.
No, I was like, but I think at the same thing, I think summoner would also be like much better because at that point, I can switch over to /ninja, pull nonstop, and then the summoner can do the hastaga, so beast doesn't have to worry about haste.
Stone skin,
it can also
blink.
It can also do AoE cures, which is something we're missing
True.
because whenever we hit mobs with AoEs, like it sucks because we have to cure everybody individually. But if they had like was it soothing current? No, there's a few AoE cures that summoner has. I think it will be pretty beneficial, and on top of that, they can open skill chains with the blood packs.
Yeah,
or magic burst.
So it's like having a DD, healer, and I mean all in one.
Obviously, we'd have to prioritize a little bit of everything, but I mean if they bring out say Garuda, and they do Hastaga, we can go into a blood pack right there. That way they open up a skill chain for you or Alu. And next mob, switch it up for something else for a different buff. And then blood pack, open up a skill chain for somebody else. So it's kind of like having that samurai, but we get a lot more benefits. So I don't know. Summoner is one of those jobs, like if I wasn't Bard and it wasn't needed, I would probably do Summoner because it just seems like a interesting job. But yeah, those are my 2.
I still think Bard has made a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing 100%. How much of a difference it makes.
I think Alu was a good pickup too, though.
I mean, yeah,
for sure.
He's been working out really well.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, no, there's no worries with Alu. He's got a giant sword. You know what I mean?
that was fun. That was funny.
He's got a giant sword. All right, mine would be Summoner top. For all the reasons 8 has already mentioned. It's a great supportive role in the party setup that we have. Meaning, it can nuke, it can physical blood pack to make skill chains, it can back up cure. It's a great supportive job to the fact that maybe Beast could go red mage sub black mage to nuke as well, and it could speed things up even more.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some of the healing capability away, but with 2 supportive, 3, 4, having a paladin, a bard, and if the bard went sub white mage still, if you change the sub ninja, obviously it changes, but even having a paladin, a red mage, and a summoner, summoner sub white mage because they don't get any native healing beyond their pets. But those blood packs would be used for buffs and physical or nuking. But yeah, it's tremendous the amount that you can kind of finagle a party to be to match your playstyle. Like right now, we're setting up great skill chains. Warrior sub thief is working out really well, ending the skill
Mm-hmm.
chain for a pretty big, sneak attack weapon skill to get decent size skill chains. We had a burster on that. Like Beast said, a nuke, a decent or good nuke would just eliminate it, and we'd probably be getting like skill chains 6, 7, 8 easily.
Mm-hmm.
Because TP isn't really an issue with a bard in the party giving us honor march and madrigal, so it's really not. Most of the time, not most of the time. Sometimes we hold TP because the mob is close to death. So like having a nuker right there towards the end as well,
Yeah,
an
free
active
nuke it
nuker.
down.
Yeah, not that one black mage that we had to just kind of like AFK the whole goddamn time.
If we
Yeah.
sat
like-
around and did nothing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, there's 8% left of the mob. We're just swinging away here. Just nuke it
Full
down
MP.
twice.
He's resting.
Come on, man. So those are my wishes. I would say summoner, number 1, and then a good black mage, number 2. I don't think any more physical will really add anything besides giving more TP to the mob and then, causing more TP moves for them. But spells cost TP moves too, but whatever.
Essentially, what we want is somebody else that I need to refresh.
Well, if you get a summoner, they have natural refresh.
Yeah.
Right?
And
At
wait until
25.
8 gets ballad too.
Hey, wait a minute. Paladin gets natural refresh now too.
Yeah, you
so
can also
Yeah.
get auto refresh. Yeah. Oh, wait, you get auto refresh or auto regen?
Auto refresh.
refresh.
Okay.
I think white mage gets auto regen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Andy, I wanted to ask you your buckler because you're using like the smallest of the shields so that you block more often, but you
Yep.
don't block as much damage. Have you noticed anything significant with your TP gain, which would then help you with your Starlight?
I get TP more often, and I'm able to Starlight more often. I mean, I can even Moonlight now to give
Hit everybody, yeah.
to give MP to everybody, but yeah, it's definitely made a difference. I've been getting more shield skill ups too.
Does
good.
Moonlight actually get more hate since you're giving MP to multiple
I
people?
wish it did. I wish it did.
It
I don't
should,
think it,
but I don't
I
think
doubt
it does.
Yeah.
I don't think
it
it works
generates
like
any hate.
it
may
should.
not, yeah.
You're right. It should because it's like an AOE. It's like a Kiraga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But for your
it's
MP.
yeah, it's
Yep.
it's AOE for MP. I mean,
that
I
would make a good
noticed
suggestion to the team.
it doesn't really give out a lot. Like if I use Moonlight at like say like 1200, everybody's getting probably like 22-ish MP.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's not a whole lot, but still,
not a lot,
it's
but
something. I mean, that
it's
22
something.
could make a difference.
Yeah.
It scales based on 1K, 2K, 3K. So like if I would say like triangle at 2K,
Mm-hmm.
if you,
Has
you
a
use it, it has a good
3.0?
modifier. Yeah.
Is it 3.0 at 2? It's 2 FTP at 1, 3 FTP at 2K, and 4 FTP at 3K.
I think Moonlight's a little different. I think it's 4.75, and like
Oh, wow.
there's a slight like difference between the single and the target AOE one.
Mm-hmm.
AOE you get more, but I think like saving it for 2K, like if you're at 1800,
Might as well wait.
just wait.
Save it.
Yeah, unless like you need it,
Right.
and there's like no MP. So
Yeah, so while we're kind of going along with the XP parties, this seems to be the episode of XP parties for us.
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's what we've basically been doing.
Grind into 50.
Yeah, the importance of skill ups, guys, and I think this will probably be pretty short, but
Mhm.
me and Alu are kind of going through those pain points right now. Alu with his great sword, which I think he was skilling up today, and me with my pole arm to get ready for the 60s. It's important. Keep your weapons up. So just like a mage has to keep their spells up, a DD, you got whatever weapon you can use, you gotta keep your skill ups up because you never know when you're gonna need it, especially on warrior, where you are basically a C and above on almost all weapons.
Yep.
It's time consuming, but do it, and any party you join up with will thank you a bajillion if you need to set up some kind of special skill chain for a mob later on in end game or something. So
I feel like level sync kind of screwed that up
it
for
does.
people, and then people don't even think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I've been level synced to 45, and here I am 52, and they don't think about, oh, my skill's still at 45. So
Yeah.
And they
that's
go in and like
a good
have
point.
a 40% hit rate.
I
So-
don't want to ever see below 80 again. It feels so bad being below 80. Like if you hit that 70% hit rate, it's like, oh, it's gross. This is nasty. And that's what level sync. You're right. Level sync will do that to you. You fall behind on your skill ups as you get more and more levels. So it's a blessing and a curse, I guess. All right, guys. So kind of try to wrapping this episode up here. Just a few things. InstantReraise.com. 8, our wonderful 8 has been working on it. It looks beautiful right now. We do have
does.
plans for it. We have ideas for it that may turn into plans, that may turn into more work for 8. There's some things that we want to put up there just for the community.
Yeah, we've been
Gathering,
talking about
maybe.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Gathering strategies, camp page, possibly. Maybe one episode we'll go over our camps, maybe. I don't know. I like to hold that to the chest. All
No,
5 or 6 people that listen to us.
keep that private.
Yeah.
So just go to the jungle.
Just
That's
go to the
great.
jungle. It's the
Before
best way.
we sign off,
What you
one
got?
thing I just thought about doing that might be helpful is if I think everybody knows how I feel about Red Mage, but maybe if we just go and say, okay, so I'm at 48 or whatever now. This is how I feel about Warrior. If you feel like it's balanced, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, same with Bard or Paladin, and just kind of give your ideas. And then every week we go, you know what? Now it's feeling better. Or maybe it's feeling worse.
Yeah.
So Red Mage for me, again, I think it feels fine. I think it's great. Love it. There's nothing I would change personally. If you want to do that, we could say that for next episode if you want.
We'll do it real quick because by the time next episode comes around, we'll probably be over 50. So it's a good check-in now. Yeah, 8, how you feeling about Bard? Anything you'd want to add, remove?
So I've been playing very supportive Bard right now.
Mhm.
So I can't speak much for like a puller Bard, which is kind of like the more meta. But from a supporting standpoint, it's working out okay. There isn't that many levers currently. Like it's just putting up accuracy and haste and or march and ballad. So just a 3-spell rotation for the most part. I haven't had to put in like attack. We haven't gotten to the point where it's beneficial to sacrifice accuracy for attack, and obviously we're not going to touch haste. And from an MP management standpoint, like Beast usually keeps me refreshed whenever I drop around 100. So it's a good synergy between the Red Mage and the Bard.
Agreed.
So I don't think anything really needs to change currently on Bard. I think it's good where it's at.
Is there anything out of error that you'd want that you would have already had?
Troubadour
Any
or whatever it's called.
abilities, PSMO, or anything like that?
So PSMO, like they made the stat spells single target, which is, I think, I don't know, that wasn't that before. So like I can like do boost vitality on Andy.
Oh, no way. I didn't know
single
that.
target. Yeah.
Vitality, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But PSMO was good if like I want to do ballad on Andy and not have to worry about his positioning. But I mean, honestly, that's just a very nitpicky thing. We can just like yell at Andy every single time he kind of crawls a little bit too far away, like keep your back to the mages kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's all positioning, and it's easy. But for the most part, I think Bard is in a good place.
All right. What are you thinking about Paladin there, Andy? I know you didn't play it at all in retail, at least recent retail, but
I am really outside of my comfort zone right now. I'm enjoying it, but I'm definitely it's still a steep learning curve for me.
Are you missing Dark Knight or?
A little bit. I mean, I really enjoy playing Dark Knight. It's just everything's different being the tank.
Oh,
You
it
know,
is.
You got to pay attention a lot more.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's tough when you're an old man like me and you gotta try to stay awake.
Yeah, you're kind of a crucial member of the team there.
Yep. But I'm trying my best, and I'm enjoying it. It's definitely really outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But
Anything that you'd like to see added to the job?
I'm still really learning it, so I
Alright,
really,
that's fine.
I really don't know, to be
That's fair.
honest. I
How do you
Hey,
feel
Andy,
like your hate control is, or do you feel like it's pretty on par with what you would want out of a
some,
tank?
some nights I feel like I'm doing okay, and some nights it's like, God damn, what is going on tonight?
I think a lot of that has to do with the DDs just kind of going a little bit stronger some nights or whatever.
Yeah, we go ape shit sometimes.
last night was one of those nights. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I cannot keep
Hate.
this mob on me.
Yeah.
The problem with last night is we were fighting high defensive mobs and we were fighting like we were fighting the corals. So
Yeah.
corals we were wiping out, right? With a
Yep.
skill chain basically and get them down to like 8%. So the amount of time you were tanking was very small. But with
La-
beetles and crawlers,
Dude, last night
you would only get them down to like 40%.
I was struggling last night. It
Yeah,
was
well,
You did fine.
that was me and the loose fault for still fighting the way we were fighting the corals. If we had a burster, it would have been
Agreed.
fine.
Agreed. Because
But
even when I would
yeah.
burst, which was only a few times, it was pretty significant damage.
Mhm.
And I'm a red mage / white mage. I'm not even / black mage.
trying to juggle my cooldowns. It was tough last night.
Do you use the timers or
The add-on.
I don't.
We gotta
That
try it
might
out
that'll
for-
help.
Yeah, I
That'll
didn't
help a
know
lot.
it worked. I think recast is the one that we got.
Turn it on
It's
in the launcher.
It turns
All right.
turns green when it's coming up, and like when it disappears, you know it's up. Yeah, so it's very easy visual kind of thing. Because from like my cures, I had to time it, and sometimes I cure a little too early, and like it's not ready, so I got to redo it, kind of thing.
It's more figuring out like how to stagger everything to
Keep you
know what I mean.
efficiency.
To make it efficient.
Efficiency. Mm-hmm.
Well, Andy, if you're on an easy job, you can always take Bard up. Even the shitty Bard is a great Bard.
That's right.
So.
Right. That, or you can go to Dark Knight and I'll pick up Paladin and it'll be fine.
But there'll be 2 Dark Knights.
No. I'll go to 75 with Paladin, and then I'll go to Dark Knight.
What about you, Pip? What do you think about
that? Was the deal we made when we started.
Yeah. So Warrior for me, it feels great actually. I haven't found too many downsides of it. I know there's a lot of complaints because there was something on Horizon about like making Warrior a tank, and I do believe it can get there. I just think people may have been doing it wrong. I think it's more of understanding the cumulative enmity formula. I think if you wanted to do it, you'd have to boost up your HP to as much as you can so that your cumulative will diminish a lot less, because your volatile is going to diminish pretty quickly. Provoke, it's zeroed out by the time Provoke is back up, so that's a horrible enmity tool. Vitality, you'd have to get that stacked up and stuff like that. Like that part of it interests me, but not enough to change it up since we have a Paladin. DD wise, Berserk feels great. Defender feels really good. I think they beefed that up a little bit. Like and it has always kind of been like this, but like going into Berserk, if I get into trouble, I can just hit Defender versus dropping Berserk.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much brought back down to 0. And then I'll put on some like agility earrings and some Vite rings, and it kind of like helps out. Offset, yeah, because if anybody doesn't know, Vitality, what that does is say like the mob can hit you from a range of like 0 to 200. The more Vite you pump up, it just shrinks the range of numbers that you're going to get hit by. So like instead of 0 to 200, it'll be like, actually that's a bad example. If it hits you to like 50 to 200, it'll shrink it down to like, I don't know, 60 to 150 or 60 to 175. Like, it shrinks the amount of range that the mob can hit you for, just based on the calculation of the damage. And then defense helps mitigate damage itself, like just drops it down incrementally. So I don't know. It's interesting to think of it playing a tank with warrior. DD wise, I think it's fine. I'm not sure what's coming. I don't know what they added at an error. I haven't really looked into it. But if there's retaliation, which is basically warrior spikes, that was extremely powerful from what I've heard in era when it first released, because attack speed was a lot slower than it is now. Retaliation builds up your weapon skill damage modifier or something like that the more times you get hit up until you weapon skill. So it's actually the slower you get TP, the better. Is that retaliation, or is my thinking about something else? Is that the other move?
Oh no, it's what was that? I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking
Which one was
about.
that?
Where you're holding off on your weapon skill or whatever.
Yeah, that's not
It
retaliation.
was no retaliation, like you counter basically, but still take full damage, but you get TP off of it.
Oh, my bad. I forgot what the other one was called then.
I forgot what the other one's called. It was complete garbage in retail.
Well, it was
because-
complete garbage because people got TP too fast. You never
Yeah,
held
yeah,
your TP. You're never gonna hold your TP.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why, like I never used it when I was playing
I
Warrior.
thought that was. My apologies. I thought that was retaliation, but you're right. Retaliation is the one that we get TP based off of it. There's no fencer though either, right? In Horizon, I don't think there's fencer in Horizon. I gotta look at my traits again.
I don't
I don't
know
think there
if
is.
there's Spencer.
I don't believe there is. That would be one thing I would add.
Restraint. I think that's what you're talking about.
Thank you very much. There we go. Restraint. My apologies. Fencer. I would add that. That's something that I meant to. Yeah, Fencer. I would add in because of the meta changing, or the forcibly trying to change the meta from not subbing Ninja. Give us Fencer then.
That's what I was going to say.
Fencer too.
It's going to be interesting to see because Warriors, you do have kind of a variety of sub jobs that you can use. Thief, especially now, I don't feel like Thief was like really a thing in retail. It was. I did see it here and there, but it's a lot better. Yeah, it seems like it's a lot better on Horizon to sub it. But I would like to see how you do with Sam and even Ninja. But I don't feel like Ninja's going to be worth it to me.
It's going to be for really niche things. So like in end game where I need protection from like a couple hits, that's when it's going to be necessary. From AoE hits, yeah, I'll wipe my shadows, but at least I won't die type things. That kind of situations, that'll be fine. Sub ceremony will be good for Hasso. But my TP gain, I'm really excited to see sub thief above.
I am too.
Level 60
triple
warrior.
Attack, because you're going to have double and triple.
Attack. Right. And with our party setup, it kind of fits
really well
right now. So
yeah.
We'll see. But I'm happy where it is, I guess. I haven't really had any negatives. I feel pretty beefy on pulls and stuff. So
I don't. Like 4 hits and I'm like in the red.
Yeah.
No, I will say on my job on Red Mage, I could see people not enjoying it as much being a different race, especially if they were like Galka or something, where your mana pool is so much smaller. But with being a Taru, my health is actually a little less than what my MP is at this point. So MP, although it was a little bit of an issue last night, isn't typically an issue at all.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm kind of sad retail changed was the racial traits like that, because that was like a unique identifier that the game had.
Yeah, I like that part. Yep.
If you wanted to be straight mage, you tend to go, Taru.
Yep.
If you wanted to play most of the jobs, you'd go Hume.
You want to
being penalized for 20 years because you picked the wrong race.
Dude, if you need to offset it, that's what merits are.
Merits. That's what makes gear exciting. Like, there's no reason for a Taru to get astral rings.
Retail is easy mode. Like they give everybody everything.
I could not imagine wearing dual astral rings as a Taru. I would be at like 400 hit points. That'd be it.
Taru should buy Casey earrings, the 50 MP to HP.
No, not gonna happen.
I wonder how far you could push it though.
Oh, you could. Oh, imagine that though. Yeah, you're right. I bet you I could get my HP to like 200, but my
And,
MP would be through the roof.
Like 1,000 MP.
Get the black pudding. I think that one scales based on
Oh,
like how
really?
much MP you already have, so it's a percentage base. So I think you can
Beat the
actually
Rollenberry.
beat the Rollenberry for 50. Yeah.
That would be
Interesting.
insane.
Interesting.
Yes, because at
That's
level
like a Gelpe
48,
beast.
I'm
Yeah.
roughly 600 MP at level
Get-
48.
So you can easily get it to 700.
Oh yeah, easily.
One shot Taru.
I-
But he's got all the MP in the world.
Yeah.
It's all up to Andy. Don't lose hate.
Just don't lose hate. Don't lose hate.
One hit.
I
I'm dead.
try.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Like I alluded to before, the website is in works. Go check it out though, because it is very pretty right now. It's hosting all of our the links to our episodes and to all the podcast players and their YouTube channel that Beast is curating right now for us, which is wonderful. Yeah, anybody else got anything else? Yeah.
No Eco Warrior this week, so
Yeah, maybe next time we'll talk about
Yeah.
Garrison and Eco Warrior.
8 was
might
actually
depends.
pushing. No, 8 was pushing
I
it.
was pushing it.
He
I
was.
pushing
He was.
it, but these
Yeah,
guys didn't want to do it. So
It's been how many episodes? Yeah, we haven't even
6.
thought of it.
Listen, it's all the time in the world. We'll get to it. It's
We'll
fine.
I
get
thought
it
about it.
eventually.
I did the research.
You did.
We have the item.
You said we
We're-
should do it.
We can do
We're
it.
too busy. We're too busy grinding levels.
Yeah, we got the EXP brain going on right now.
We'll get it. We'll get it next week. All right, guys. For Beastaru, AndyHara, and 8, and Pipster, see ya.
Take it easy.
Later.
Too sweet.